So, to be honest, I had no idea what to record today. There were a few things I wanted to do, but I just wasn't in the mood to play any of them. And I turned on my Switch and I went, oh yeah, last time I used my Switch, I recorded like an F-Zero video, and that was like a week or two ago. And I was like, what else is like in the SNES library? So I'm just gonna like randomly pick something. If you read the title, you know exactly what I'm picking. I'm just kind of like deciding right now. And I figured might as well just say, just start recording. Why not? Why the hell not? I'm kind of like torn between trying Earth Defense Force, or Stunt Race FX. And considering I love my racing games, Stunt Race FX is a really cool game that I have almost no memory of. But I know it tries doing like some really cool like SNES 3D stuff. Like I know it tries really... Is this the one that tries? I think Stunt Race FX tries to do it. Or am I thinking of a different game? We're gonna find out. We are just gonna try. We're gonna try and we're gonna see what happens. Oh yeah, no, this one tries the 3D stuff. Okay. Let's be, Dude. Let's be the F-type. Bad acceleration. But whatever. Let's learn, let's play. I have no idea what I'm doing in this game. And that's okay with me. Novice. Okay, we're gonna do novice. So I wonder if there's like a way to like hide like all the like menu stuff like around the game, and just like have only the borders, because I hate like the menu bar like on these like SNES and NES classic things, like at the bottom. I hate them. It bothers me to like no end. But I just kind of deal with it. Oh yeah, this is exactly what I thought it was. Okay. I wasn't 100% until now. That's reverse. That's gas. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh god. But yeah, this game did like, did some cool graphical stuff for the SNES. Doesn't mean it's good? No. Not at all. In fact, it's really tough to tell where you're going. And you can see like all the stuff they did to try and make this game run smoothly. From like limiting like how big the screen size is by just covering it with like a gigantic heads-up display and stuff. Render as little as possible on the screen. A few games do that actually. I think Doom did that pretty heavily on SNES. Maybe it's the 32X one. I forget which one did it. But we got some stuff going. It's called Stunt Race FX because we use the FX chip in the SNES. And yeah. I don't really know much about it, but holy crap, this is hard to play. And it's so weird that, like, I know, like, not much about this game. I know I've played it before. Like, I know I've probably seen, like, history overviews of it. And at one point was kind of, like, well-informed, but, like, I forget. Is that, like, a jump button? Or just, like, a horn? That's kind of adorable. Can't even lie. Wait, oh wait, I have a boost? How do I use the boost? Found the boost button. The controls are super awkward. Just because, like, the button layouts, like, on, like, a SNES controller, like, in a Switch controller, are so different. Just, like, with, like, how, like, you move your thumb across the controller or whatever. It's, like, just a slightly different layout. Oh, so slight. But it does make a little bit of a difference. So it feels kind of awkward. But whatever, you know what? I got first place. I did good. No, honestly, that's not too bad. It's just really tough to tell what's going on. I think for the time period, this game does look pretty impressive for like a SNES game. Would I say it looks good? No. Not particularly. I would say it's impressive, right? Like, this is definitely like a tech showcase for the time. But I can't say it looks good, you know? It's just like too blurry and like, eh. Like, I think like even at the time if I had this, I'd be like, that looks really good, but like, eh. I will say the one thing really helping it out right now are kind of like the, just the backgrounds, and then, like, in, like, the backgrounds having, like, your traditional kind of, like, 2D feel to them. And the cars themselves looking actually, like, halfway decent. But because of, like, just, like, how this game, like, has everything popping in, and just, like, how the game feels to control, and just, like, the overall, like, frame rate of it, where it just does not look smooth, like, at all. Not even slightly. It's tough to call it a good-looking game. I'd say, like, if you're, like, parked and, like, you're not moving whatsoever, maybe it looks a lot better, but I think, like, in motion, this game does not look good at all. It's whatever, you know? Because I feel like this is just, like, a really cool little oddity game. And, like, even, like, with those faults, I'm still doing pretty okay at it. It's really tough to stay on track, though. It's tough to gauge, like, when you should brake, like, how fast you should be going, when you should start turning. Because when this game is moving at, like, the speed of snail, or, like, the speed of PowerPoint, it's tough to get, like, a good gauge. Because, like, you don't have, like, a very, like, smooth response, it feels like. So it's odd. Not unplayable, but just odd. It's kind of cool, though. And there is, like, the stunt tracks I want to check out as well. Like, I don't think this is going to be, like, a very, like, big look at the game. I don't like the transition going into this tunnel, either. That's, like, very, like, sudden. Not a fan. But I don't know, like, it's tough to, like, put into words, like, what I think of this. Because, again, like, it's not terrible. Like, I've played way worse racing games than this. Like, I have. But on the flip side, I've also played way, way, way better. Even on the SNES, I've played way, way better. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, how to, like, put into words, like, what I feel right now. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pushing through. Because why not? Okay. Got a bonus stage, huh? Okay. Also, this being an FX game, like, I wonder, like, how much this game cost when it came out. This is not controlling. Holy crap. This doesn't control. It doesn't. At all. I'm trying, though. Oh my god. Oh god. I'm such an idiot. I'm pressing the boost button to brake. That makes a lot of sense on why, like, those last two turns sucked. I'm trying to keep control here, though. I'm trying my absolute best. It's not easy. I don't think this is a good score. But yeah, I wonder, like, how much this game costs. Because, like, usually the games have, like, a special chip in them. And I'm pretty sure the FX is, like, a special chip you had to put on the cartridge itself. I'm wondering, like, how expensive this was. Because Genesis had something similar. I forget the name of the Genesis chip. But Virtua Racing used it. And I know that game at the time was 80 or 90 US dollars. Which I think, judging for inflation, is like 120 now? 130? Something like that? 120? Somewhere in that ballpark. And I imagine this game was probably higher up in price as well. That's something I kind of want to give the Google. And say. It's like little tidbits like that, you know, like just about games in general, I always find to be really, really cool. Because, like, a lot of people think games are super, super expensive now. And it's like, during the cartridge era, like during the NES and SNES era, stuff got pretty expensive. And when you adjust it for inflation, definitely more expensive than now, in a lot of cases. But I think a big thing, too, is budget lines. Especially, like, once CDs and stuff kind of came out, like, games got put on CD. Budget lines started happening. So you always had, like, this perceived notion of a game, like, eventually becomes 20 bucks pretty quick with a green label. And the games also went down to like $50 at one point for like that whole like, you know, Xbox PS2 era. But like old cartridge-based games, they were pretty freaking pricey. Especially like some of the cartridges like needed for certain games, like the higher memory ones, costing so much money. Although, admittedly, you could say games are arguably more expensive now, because if you pay a $60 game, you're getting, like, half the game. Because then you need, like, $40 worth of DLC. Or, like, something like that with it. Or if it's, like, a multiplayer game, you're expected to probably invest quite a bit of money over the years. Unless you want to grind it out for hundreds of hours per content drop. So I guess you can make the argument that, like, in a lot of cases, games are maybe a bit more expensive now. But I also feel like you get a lot more time out of modern games. And I love my retro stuff, but like I don't think there's like a retro game I would get 4,600 hours out of like I have like with Dead by Daylight. Which I've probably invested like $150 in. Like this game was like 60, 70 bucks or something, or like 80 bucks. Like, this game will, like, last me, like, a day before I'm bored of it, like, as a kid. I want to see how much this game actually cost. How much did it cost? Is there any way to, like, look this up? Hold on, sorry, I'm just kind of Googling this really quick. Came out in 94. Released for £60 in the UK, which is, equal to 109 pounds in today's money. But this was published in 2015, so probably a little bit different than that. Let me see, I'm just gonna do, like, a quick conversion. This isn't, like, a totally accurate conversion whatsoever, because, like United States prices, like UK prices, you know, there's always like a little bit of like a mismatch. But I just kind of like want to convert this really quick. So, after judging for inflation, this game was roughly $140, give or take. Holy shit. And if we just kind of, like, take out the whole, you know, Great Britain tax and whatnot, we'll probably just kind of, like, round this down to, like, 120. Oof. Expensive. But again, like, the technology's pretty nifty in this. I wish I could find, like, a US price, like, at a quick Google, though, but it's really tough finding that stuff. Unless I look for, like, old, like, Toys R Us catalogs and stuff and just try and find it there. Which, honestly, I probably could. In fact, I almost assuredly could. The internet's pretty wonderful. It has everything. Why'd I just, like, not do that? I'll just, like, Google, like, a June 1994, like, Toys R Us catalog. Stunt Race FX will probably be in the video game section highlighted, because it's a newer game at the time. Oh, crap. I would say, though, this game would be, like, a lot better. Not only if, like, the turning and stuff felt better, although I know, like, the car I picked isn't really suited for it, which also kind of plays into it. I just kind of wish, like, you could see the turns, like, what was coming up a little bit more clearly. I know there's probably not much they could have done about that with the hardware they had to use. But it's really tough to kind of brace for, like, what's about to happen ahead of you, because it kind of pops in so late. Or it is there, but it's so tough to, like, actually see and, like, judge in time. Like, Super Mario Kart and, like, F-Zero and stuff that use, like, Mode 7 had a very, very similar problem. Although I think does this game, like, use kind of, like, Mode 7 as well? I'm not sure. I kind of like hesitated like continuing up on that thought because I think this game might use like some of that as well, or like some of the techniques with that. Sorry, my thoughts are kind of like jumbled right now. But yeah, like a lot of the racing games I tried doing like the 3D look, unlike the SNES era and whatnot, like it was very, very difficult because like judging like, you know, distance is so like nearly impossible once you play these tracks a ton. And even then, it ain't perfect. Is what I was getting at there. Although I feel like I'm doing like surprisingly competent, even though I am a novice. I do feel like I'm doing surprisingly competent. For what it is. Okay. Whew, too much speed. Oh, is there still more? Oh, is this not last lap? Or maybe this is last lap. But that just wasn't the end. That might just been the checkpoint. I gotta pay more attention sometimes. We good. That should be the entire novice, though. That should be done. Cool, man. Yeah, it's recapping all my scores. Okay. And what? Cool. And now we're back to like the menu. Let's check out like stunt tracks. Why not? First, I want to check out a Toys R Us catalog. Just see like what the US price was at the time. Let me see. Oh man, I found one, but like it's really, really cropped. Crap. Dude, in 1994, they were selling NES Open for $9.97 and Metroid for $19.97. And Star Tropics for that. Yowie wowie. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Stunt Race FX. Which one is this? Oh, but I found like a really old one. Like, what were games going for back then? This is 1987 NES Master System. Or like the covers. Let me see. Can I get like game prices on this? I cannot. I mean, they were selling Rygar for $35. Which actually, all things considered, is not too bad. Then you consider the fact that it's Rygar. Which I think a lot of people like. But I'm spending way too much time in this video on stuff you guys can't even say. So you know what? Just fook it. Fuck it. I don't want Kappa. Fuck it. We're gonna keep going. Oh, man. Let's try the stunt track. I'm curious. And we'll wrap this up. Yeah, games did get very expensive back then. So what is my purpose in Stunt Race? Like, what am I trying to do? Just, like, get these balloons? Like, what are we trying? Highest score possible. Oh, 40 stars. I just noticed on the bottom right. Okay. Is that, like, all the time we have to get 40? Or is that just, like, basically a suggestion? Because let me tell you, that's kind of tricky. That's like really, really, really tricky. Especially when you consider like how this turns. Oh boy. Oh god. This ain't good. This ain't good. Ah! I did good. Look, I got 17 out of 40. That's like a better percentage score than like what I used to get like in high school math. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, that's Stunt Race FX. Is really, I feel like the video kind of says everything. It was a very ambitious game for its time. Definitely very expensive for the time, just going by like what UK prices were. Really, really tough to like tell what you're doing. Like, it's not a game like I think you'd really want to play casually. I feel like if you take great interest in racing games like I do, and like you kind of like want to play like some of these earlier like 3D like kind of console racing games, like this is like kind of like a cool oddity. And with so many people like having Switch and whatnot, I'm gonna make a suspend point. So people having a Switch and like Switch Online and whatnot, like it's right in the Switch collection as it is, so it's pretty cool to like check that out. I don't think like most people would really get more than like an hour or two out of that, but you know what? For what it is, it's pretty cool. Like as just like a curiosity piece. I think that's the best thing you can say about it. And like I don't entirely hate it. I just don't think it holds up by any stretch to like today's standards. Not even close. Like I don't think there's like even like a shimmer of like this is still good. This is aged really well. Not really. It's not like Star Fox, which I think has aged really well, or like Kirby Dream Course, like still has really like rocking gameplay, whatnot. Like a lot of the stuff like in the SNES collection's aged really, really well, or at least like has like some fun factor to it. Stunt Race FX, it really doesn't, but like it's a cool little curiosity piece. You want to give it a shot. But yeah, that's gonna cover it for this video, and y'all have a good day. Toodles, y'all.